The wind howled across the desolate research facility, carrying tiny particles of rust-colored dust that danced around the metallic structures. Dr. J. Park stood near the massive drilling platform, her dark hair tied back tightly, eyes scanning the alien landscape that stretched endlessly before her. Hyun Kim adjusted the complex drilling equipment, his fingers moving with practiced precision across the control panel. They were the only two humans selected for this impossible mission, a planetary exploration task that most believed would end in complete failure. The Galactic Research Committee had laughed when the human proposal first arrived. Clerk Roland, a tall reptilian administrator with green-scaled skin, had mockingly presented the document to his colleagues. "Humans want to drill on XR-772? They must be joking," he had said, his forked tongue flicking with derision. XR-772 was not just another planet. It was a geological nightmare. Temperatures that could flash freeze a living creature in seconds, ground so dense that conventional drilling equipment would shatter within minutes, and radiation levels that would cook most biological organisms from the inside out. Jay understood the challenges. She had spent years preparing for this moment, studying every possible scenario, designing equipment that could withstand conditions no other species would even consider approaching. Her doctorate in extreme planetary geology wasn't just an academic achievement, it was a testament to human determination. "Drilling sequence ready?" Hyun called out, his voice calm and steady. The massive drill, a marvel of human engineering, looked more like a weapon than a scientific instrument. Its titanium-reinforced structure gleamed under the harsh light of the twin suns that hung in the alien sky. The research facility around them was a testament to human adaptability. Where other species would have constructed elaborate protective domes, the humans had built a simple functional base, reinforced metal sheets, advanced cooling systems, and modular design that could be quickly reconfigured. Everything spoke of practical innovation. Roland and his committee believed humans were fragile. They saw soft skin, limited physical strength, and a relatively short lifespan. What they didn't understand was the human capacity for innovation, for pushing beyond perceived limitations. Jay remembered the briefing before their mission. The alien committee had presented a list of impossible conditions, radiation levels, temperature variations, geological density that would make drilling a theoretical impossibility. She had listened, taken notes, and then designed solutions that would prove them wrong. Hyun checked the preliminary scans. The planet's core was rich with rare minerals that could revolutionize interstellar technology. Most species would have considered the extraction too dangerous. Humans saw it as a challenge. The first drill rotation began. A low, powerful hum filled the air, different from the mechanical sounds the aliens were used to. This wasn't just machinery. This was human engineering at its finest. Microscopic sensors embedded in the drill's structure began collecting data. Temperature readings, mineral composition, structural integrity, every millisecond was being recorded and analyzed. Where other species would send massive teams, humans had learned to do more with less. Hyun glanced at Jay, a slight smile crossing his face. They both knew what was happening. With each rotation, with each meter the drill penetrated the impossible surface, they were proving something fundamental about human capability. The alien observation team, monitoring remotely, watched in growing disbelief. Their advanced technology, their centuries of exploration seemed suddenly primitive compared to this human approach. As the first hour passed, the drill continued its steady descent. No alarms, no system failures, just precise, calculated movement. Jay adjusted some parameters on her tablet, her movements smooth and confident. They weren't just drilling a planet, they were challenging an entire galactic perception of what was possible. The wind continued to blow, carrying rust-colored dust across the alien landscape. But now, something had changed. A human drill was cutting through the impossible. One rotation at a time. The transport ship shuddered as it entered XR-772's atmosphere, its protective shields flickering against the intense radiation and extreme temperature variations. Inside the cockpit, Jay and Hyun remained focused, their hands steady on the control systems. Outside, the planet looked like a nightmare landscape. Jagged rock formations twisted in impossible angles, creating a terrain that seemed more like a weapon than a natural environment. Massive canyon systems cut through the surface, revealing layers of geological history that spoke of violent planetary formation. Hyun's computer systems began rapid scanning. Temperature readings fluctuated between -80 and +120 degrees within minutes. Most biological systems would collapse instantly. Their protective suits, however, were designed by humans, a species that understood adaptation better than any other in the galaxy. Initial landing zone looks stable, Hyun said, his voice calm. Jay nodded, her eyes tracking multiple holographic displays that showed geological stress points, radiation levels, and potential drilling locations. The ship touched down with surprising gentleness. Dust storms immediately surrounded their landing site, swirling in complex patterns that would have confused most alien navigation systems. But their equipment was different. Advanced sensors cut through the visual chaos, mapping the terrain with mathematical precision. As the outer airlock opened, the first wave of alien data collectors watching remotely expected to see signs of struggle. Instead, they witnessed something unexpected. Jay and Hyun moved with calculated efficiency, unloading specialized equipment as if they were walking through a standard research facility. Each piece of equipment was modular, designed to be quickly assembled and reconfigured. Where other species would require massive support teams, these two humans worked in perfect synchronization. A drill section here, a geological scanner there, each movement deliberate and purposeful. The planet's surface was not just challenging, it was actively hostile. Rocks that looked solid would suddenly crumble, revealing hidden radiation pockets. Wind currents carried microscopic particles that could destroy standard electronic systems. But human technology was different. Hyun's drill prototype was not just a machine. It was a marvel of engineering that incorporated adaptive learning algorithms. Each rotation, each movement adjusted based on real-time geological feedback. Where standard alien technology would break, this would adapt. Jay began setting up the primary research station. Her movements were quick but careful, understanding that every second counted in this extreme environment. Radiation-resistant materials, temperature-regulating structures, communication systems that could pierce through intense electromagnetic interference. The alien observation team continued watching, their initial mockery slowly transforming into genuine curiosity. These humans were not just surviving. They were thriving in conditions that would have destroyed most known species. As the first research modules took shape, Hyun ran initial geological scans. The planet's core was a complex network of mineral deposits that promised revolutionary technological possibilities. Rare earth elements, complex molecular structures that could transform interstellar engineering, all waiting to be discovered. Jay checked the environmental seals on their protective gear. Unlike other species that relied on complex life support systems, their equipment was streamlined. Lightweight, adaptive, capable of responding to rapid environmental changes in milliseconds. The planet seemed to test them. Sudden wind gusts tried to destabilize their equipment. Rock formations shifted unexpectedly. Radiation levels spiked and dropped with no predictable pattern. But for Jay and Hyun, these were not obstacles. They were challenges to be solved. As darkness fell, the twin suns of the planetary system created a landscape of shadows and strange light. Most species would have retreated, seeking shelter. But human research didn't follow standard galactic protocols. Hyun's drill prototype began its first test rotation. The sound was different, not the loud, destructive noise of standard drilling equipment, but a precise, calculated hum that seemed to communicate with the very rocks it was penetrating. Jay watched the initial data streams, her tablet displaying complex geological maps that were being created in real time. Every second provided new information, new possibilities. They had arrived. The mission was beginning, and the planet had no idea what was about to happen. The drill bit into the planet's surface with a precision that defied conventional understanding. Where other species saw an impossible challenge, Jay and Hyun saw an opportunity to demonstrate human engineering at its finest. On the distant monitoring station, alien researchers watched in growing disbelief. Their advanced holographic displays showed data that contradicted everything they knew about planetary exploration. The human drill was not just cutting through rock, it was analyzing, adapting, learning with each microscopic movement. Hyun's fingers danced across the control panel, making subtle adjustments that would have been invisible to most observers. The drill's adaptive algorithms were working overtime, compensating for sudden geological shifts that would have destroyed standard equipment within minutes. Core sample stabilization complete, Hyun reported, his voice steady. Jay nodded, her eyes fixed on the incoming data streams. They were collecting information that would revolutionize understanding of planetary geology. The alien observation team, led by senior researcher Krell, found themselves increasingly confused. Their most advanced drilling technologies would have failed within the first hour. Yet these two humans continued working as if they were in a controlled laboratory environment. Radiation levels spiked suddenly, a burst that would have fried most electronic systems. But the human equipment simply adjusted, its protective layers absorbing and redistributing the intense energy. Krell leaned closer to the monitoring screen, his multiple eyes blinking in rapid succession. "Impossible," he muttered, watching the drill continue its steady descent. The planet seemed to be fighting back. Massive geological shifts tried to destabilize their equipment. Windstorms carrying razor-sharp mineral particles whipped around their research station. Temperature fluctuations that would have destroyed standard life support systems became nothing more than a minor inconvenience. Jay's communication system picked up the first confused transmissions from the Alien Research Committee. Their initial mockery had transformed into something between fear and fascination. These humans were not just surviving. They were proving that everything the Galactic Confederation thought they knew was wrong. Each drill rotation told a story. It wasn't just about collecting mineral samples. It was a demonstration of human adaptability, of engineering that could turn the impossible into a routine task. Hyun noticed the first unusual mineral composition about 3 kilometers beneath the surface. Most species would have required weeks of careful analysis. He made a quick calculation, adjusted the drill's scanning frequency, and continued operations without missing a beat. The research station stood as a testament to human innovation. Modular design that could be quickly reconfigured, adaptive materials that responded to environmental challenges, communication systems that could pierce through intense electromagnetic interference. Krell's monitoring team began pulling historical data about human missions. Each record showed a pattern of unexpected success, of pushing beyond perceived limitations. This mission was becoming another chapter in that remarkable story. As the planetary night fell, the human team continued working. No rest cycles, no standard operational protocols. Just continuous, focused research that challenged everything. The alien species understood about exploration. The drill hit a particularly dense geological layer. Most equipment would have shattered instantly. Instead, the human prototype simply adjusted its rotation, its cutting edge finding microscopic paths through the impossible terrain. Jay reviewed the initial data samples. Each reading revealed complex molecular structures that could transform interstellar technology. Rare mineral compositions that had eluded discovery for centuries were now being mapped with mathematical precision. Hyun's adaptive algorithms were learning faster than any artificial intelligence the alien researchers had ever seen. The drill was not just a tool, it was becoming an extension of human intelligence, adapting and problem-solving in real time. The alien observation team's communication channels were now filled with urgent discussions. Their previous understanding of human capabilities was being completely rewritten. As the first planetary cycle came to an end, the human team showed no signs of slowing down. Where other species would have required massive support teams, multiple recovery cycles, and extensive safety protocols, Jay and Hyun continued their work with remarkable efficiency. The drill continued its steady descent, cutting through the planet's secrets one rotation at a time. And the galaxy watched, slowly realizing that everything they thought they knew about exploration was about to change. The transmission from XR772 arrived at Earth's Central Research Hub with unexpected clarity. Jay's report cut through standard communication protocols, presenting data that would challenge everything the Galactic Confederation understood about planetary exploration. Senior Administrator Helen Rodriguez listened carefully, her experienced eyes scanning the complex data streams. The report wasn't just a scientific document, it was a direct challenge to established interstellar research limitations. "We've penetrated geological layers considered impossible by current galactic standards," Jay's recorded message stated. Her voice was calm, almost matter-of-fact, as if describing a routine morning task rather than a groundbreaking scientific achievement. Hyun's supplementary data showed something even more remarkable. Their drill had not just collected samples, it had mapped an entire planetary subsurface network that revealed complex mineral interactions previously thought to be theoretical. The Alien Research Committee, led by researcher Krell, found themselves in an emergency conference. Holographic displays showed the human data, each chart and graph challenging their fundamental understanding of planetary exploration. "They've done what?" one senior administrator asked, his translator struggling to capture the mixture of disbelief and growing respect. The human team had discovered mineral compositions that could revolutionize energy production. Complex molecular structures that existed in a state between solid and liquid, capable of storing and transferring energy in ways no known technology could achieve. Jay and Hyun worked continuously, seemingly unaware of the massive scientific revolution they were generating. Their protective suits, designed for extreme conditions, moved with a grace that suggested these hostile environments were nothing more than another workplace. The planetary surface of XR772 continued its assault. Radiation levels that would have killed most biological systems, temperature variations that would shatter standard equipment, geological shifts that would destroy conventional research platforms. None of these seemed to slow the human team. Krell's monitoring team began pulling every available record of human missions. Each historical document revealed a pattern of unexpected success, of pushing beyond what other species considered possible. "Their technological adaptation is extraordinary," one alien researcher muttered, watching the live feed from the planetary surface. Hyun's drill prototype continued its work, not just collecting samples but actively learning from the planetary environment. Its adaptive algorithms were creating real-time geological maps that would take other species decades to compile. The communication back to Earth became a beacon of human potential. Each transmission carried data that rewrote scientific understanding. Complex mineral interactions, geological network mappings, energy transfer possibilities that had existed only in theoretical research. Jay's scientific precision met Hyun's engineering brilliance in a perfect demonstration of human capability. Where other species saw limitations, they saw opportunities for innovation. The Alien Research Committee's emergency meeting grew increasingly tense. Their previous dismissal of human potential was transforming into a growing sense of professional respect, and perhaps a hint of professional fear. "They're not just exploring," one senior administrator said. "They're fundamentally changing our understanding of planetary research." The planetary surface of XR772 continued its assault. Massive dust storms, radiation bursts, temperature shifts that would destroy standard equipment. But the human research station stood firm, a testament to human engineering and adaptability. Hyun's latest data transmission revealed something even more extraordinary. The mineral compositions they were discovering could potentially solve multiple energy challenges facing interstellar civilizations. Clean energy production, advanced storage technologies, molecular structures that could transform technological development. Jay's report was simultaneously a scientific document and an unintentional demonstration of human capability. Each paragraph, each data point, challenged established research protocols. The galactic research community found themselves in uncharted territory. These humans were not just another emerging species. They were potential technological apex predators, capable of turning scientific challenges into routine operations. As the planetary night fell on XR772, Jay and Hyun continued their work. No rest cycles, no standard operational protocols, just continuous focused research that was quietly rewriting scientific understanding. The drill continued its steady descent, cutting through planetary secrets one rotation at a time. And the galaxy watched, slowly realizing that everything they thought they knew about exploration was about to change. The emergency meeting of the Galactic Research Council looked more like a crisis intervention than a standard scientific review. Holographic displays flickered with data from XR772, showing achievements that defied every established understanding of planetary exploration. Researcher Krell stood at the center, his reptilian features betraying a mixture of professional shock and growing respect. The human mission had not just succeeded, it had completely rewritten the rules of interstellar research. Their capabilities are beyond our initial assessments, Krell announced, his voice echoing through the massive conference chamber. Hundreds of alien administrators watched in stunned silence. The data was irrefutable. Jay and Hyun had not just collected mineral samples. They had mapped an entire planetary subsurface network that promised technological revolutions across multiple scientific disciplines: energy production, material science, geological understanding. Everything was about to change. Back on XR772, the human team continued their work, completely unaware of the political tsunami they were generating. Jay reviewed complex molecular structures with the same calm she might use to check a routine laboratory experiment. Hyun adjusted drilling parameters with mechanical precision. Senior Administrator Helen Rodriguez received the first comprehensive report from the mission. Her experienced eyes scanned the data, recognizing immediately that this was more than a scientific achievement. This was a fundamental shift in human potential. The Alien Research Committee's initial mockery had transformed into something between professional respect and genuine fear. These humans had turned an impossible mission into a routine operation. Their technological adaptation, their ability to transform challenging environments into workable research platforms, challenged everything the Galactic Confederation thought they understood. Hyun's drill prototype was now more than just a piece of equipment. It had become a symbol of human innovation, adaptive, intelligent, capable of learning and responding to complex environmental challenges in real time. The mineral compositions discovered could solve multiple technological challenges, clean energy production methods that could transform entire planetary economies, molecular structures that existed in states previously considered theoretical. Each sample was a potential technological breakthrough. Krell's team began compiling a comprehensive report. Their language struggled to capture the magnitude of human achievement. How do you describe a species that turns scientific impossibilities into routine operations? The planetary surface of XR772 continued its assault. Radiation levels, temperature variations, geological shifts that would destroy standard equipment. But the Human Research Station stood firm, a testament to engineering and human adaptability. Political channels began lighting up across multiple star systems. This was more than a scientific mission. This was a demonstration of human potential that would reshape interstellar understanding. They're not just exploring, one senior administrator whispered, watching the live feed. They're demonstrating a fundamental approach to scientific challenge that we've never seen before. Jay's communication back to Earth carried more than scientific data. Each transmission was a quiet demonstration of human capability. Complex problems reduced to methodical solutions, environmental challenges transformed into research opportunities. The Galactic research community found themselves recalibrating everything they thought they knew. These humans were not just another emerging species. They were potential technological apex predators, capable of turning scientific challenges into routine operations. Hyun made another subtle adjustment to the drilling parameters. To him, this was just another day of scientific research. To the watching alien researchers, it was a masterclass in technological innovation. The planetary night fell on XR772, but the human research continued. No standard rest cycles, no conventional, operational protocols. Just continuous focused research that was quietly rewriting scientific understanding. Administrator Krell prepared his final report. The words came slowly, each sentence a careful acknowledgement of a fundamental shift in understanding. The human mission to XR772 was more than a scientific expedition. It was a clear message to the galaxy. Humans were not just another species to be overlooked. They were a force of scientific and technological potential that would reshape interstellar understanding. As the first planetary cycle came to an end, the drill continued its steady descent, cutting through planetary secrets one rotation at a time. And the galaxy watched, slowly realizing that everything they thought they knew about exploration was about to change.